Hey, welcome to the Sports Fury. I'm Josh.
And I'm Sean.
And this is our game picks and breakdown of Super Bowl 51, which returns to Houston, Texas. Last time it was in Houston, The New England Patriots were there playing the Carolina Panthers, another NFC South team. And that was a great game. It was one of the best Super Bowls of all time. It had everything. It had offense, it had defense, it had comebacks, it had wardrobe malfunctions. It had everything. It was a great Super Bowl. And I'm very glad it's coming back here to Texas. Now, this time around, the New England Patriots show up with their 9th all-time Super Bowl appearance, most ever. And Belichick and Brady are making their record-breaking 7th appearance at the Super Bowl. Atlanta, this is their 2nd. So we're gonna go ahead and break this down, Sean. Let's talk about what each team needs to do to have success against the other, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think the Falcons need to do to win this game, man?
Well, let's kind of jump on the offensive side of the ball. There's not much. I don't really think they need to do much.
They're pretty damn perfect.
They're fucking amazing on offense. They have everything, but they need to just play their style of football. The Patriots are going to try to take away someone, right? That's the style. But what the Falcons need to focus on is just spread the ball around, which is what Matt Ryan's done all year. So don't change anything. Go into this game doing the same thing you've done all year.
Yep.
That's what I say on the offensive side.
Stick to your identity.
Stick to your identity. Don't try to change it up. Don't try to outsmart the Patriots. Play your game.
Okay.
Now, obviously, on the defensive side, the main thing, how you beat Brady, and we talk about it all the time, everybody says it, it's pressure. You have Vic Beasley, the number 1 sack leader in the NFL right now. Great young player. You're fast. Get to Brady. Yeah. That's the key. And tackling. And we saw it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They didn't tackle. They didn't wrap up.
No, hell no.
Tackling is a huge part, and Falcons do have some young players, but you got to drill that in their head. Mm-hmm. Tackle, because Garrett Blount does not go down that easily. So I think that's the key. If the Falcons are going to win, play their style of offense, defense, pressure, and tackling. Yep. Simple as that. Keep it simple.
Yep. Kyle Shanahan, he's got to keep doing what he's doing. He's been phenomenal this year. It's even getting him a head coaching job elsewhere. Kyle Shanahan, he needs to pull out all the tricks against this number 1 scoring defense that New England has, especially when it gets down to the red zone. New England is just ridiculous in the end zone. They do not really give up points. They will turn that ball over if you make the slightest mistake. I mean, just ask the Seattle Seahawks fans how they felt about that shit a couple years ago. But so Kyle Shanahan, he's got to pull out that deadly play calling, especially when it gets down to the red zone. No mistakes. You cannot make any mistakes against the New England Patriots. We all know that. Dan Quinn, he's gonna coach himself a hell of a game. This is his 3rd Super Bowl appearance in 4 years. Remember, his roots go all the way back to the Seattle Seahawks, and so he's really built up that defense. That defense is young, it's athletic, it's got some playmakers, and they're gonna have to continue what they've been getting better every single week, especially in this playoffs. And they're going to have their hands full with New England, but they just got to keep that relentlessness and that aggression and just
that hustle.
Just get to Brady. Like you were saying, Vic Beasley, just get to Brady, get some turnovers if you can, So just be relentless on the defensive end because their offense is pretty goddamn perfect. I don't really see any weaknesses on their offense at all, so it's going to be on their defense.
I think so too.
Now, New England. What is New England going to have to do to be successful against the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, can that number 1 scoring defense really, keep up with the number 1 scoring offense?
Well,
what do they got to do?
I'm glad you brought that up because Atlanta does have the number 1 offense. So obviously, Patriots have the number 1 defense, but I think it's going to be on the offensive part for the Patriots to help their defense out in a sense of this. Patriots have to sustain drives.
Seriously, keeping Matt Ryan off the field.
Exactly. You got to keep that offense off the field. Run the ball. They have LeGarrette Blount. They have Deion Lewis, James White, I believe, right?
Hogan.
They have 3. And Hogan. Yeah, they have all these playmakers. Edelman, Martellus Bennett.
You think Atlanta's going to make the same mistake the Pittsburgh Steelers were making and not covering Hogan? They're gonna be all over that motherfucker.
I hope not. I'm huge on Falcons. Keanu Neal. That's their rookie safety. I don't think he's gonna be that wide open, but we'll see. But I think the Patriots have sustained drives. Run the ball. Keep the ball out of Matty Ice's hands. Because if you don't, we can see exactly what happened last week against the Green Bay Packers. And Matty Ice scores 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, pretty much. And it's game over, you know? So you got to keep the ball out of his hands, sustain drives, and score touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think that the Patriots defense is going to be able to slow down Atlanta's offense. So you got to put up points.
And I don't think New England's going to have a problem with that. I mean, even if it's 4th down, you know, and they're sitting there at the 5-10 yard line, I think they're going to go for it. Because field goals, I mean, of course, depending on the situation.
We've seen them do that. We see them take risks.
Belichick's not scared. He's not scared of taking chances.
Nope.
And you know what? For the New England defense, if the New England defense can get 2 turnovers on Matt Ryan, that might be the game. New England's going to win.
Possibly.
Because New England's offense ain't no joke neither. So if defense gets 2 turnovers on Matt Ryan or on that Atlanta offense, I think they can win the game. Definitely.
Now, it's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy because Matt Ryan, I don't think has turned over the ball in 6 games.
Well, especially in the passing game. He's perfect throwing over 20.
Oh, yeah. Over 20 yards. He's not thrown a pick.
That's going to be a huge challenge. So it's going to be phenomenal.
Now, another thing I wanted to touch base on is talking about Matt Ryan. And that's the key. The Patriots defense, they're number 1 in scoring, but I think they're going to have to do a little bit more. They can't just be a bend but don't break. You can't rely on your defense at the last second to not keep them from scoring a touchdown because they have so many weapons. It's going to be hard to slow them down. The Patriots defense, I think, has got to get pressure on Matt Ryan, and I think the key to get pressure on Matty Ice is pressure up the middle. He's not much of an out-of-the-pocket kind of guy, so if you get pressure up the middle, he's going to move, get him uncomfortable. That's the key to slow down Matty Ice. That's what I've seen in the past for him. Get him outside of the pocket, get him uncomfortable, and I think you'll be able to get those picks. So that's the big thing for me.
If Matt Ryan found himself in that situation, I think he just checks down to Devontae Freeman or Coleman. I want to talk about those 2 guys, Devontae Freeman and Coleman, or as people have been calling him, Devontae Coleman. That is a great 1-2 punch. I can't wait to see what these guys do in the Super Bowl.
I'm excited.
Like you were saying, Bill Belichick, and we've known this for a long time. He likes to take away your best offensive threat. Well, good luck doing that with Atlanta because you take away Julio Jones, you still got Devontae Freeman, and you got Coleman, and you got Mohamed Sanu, you got Gabriel. These guys are making plays, and you got their tight ends too, like Hooper. These guys are making plays. They're stepping up, they're catching the ball, and they're being there for their guy Matt Ryan. They're not letting him down. That offensive line, don't forget about the offensive line. That offensive line's been very good this year.
Yes, they have.
So
that addition to Alex Mack really solidified that offense line.
You think Devontae Freeman and Coleman are going to combine over 150 yards in the Super Bowl?
Now, all-purpose or just rushing?
All-purpose combined.
Yeah.
Easy, right?
Easy, hands down. Tevin Coleman's it's a nightmare to guard him out of the backfield. He's great at catching the ball. And obviously, we already know Freeman's great. He's been consistent this year. He hasn't slowed down one bit like he did last year.
Yep.
They're on a mission. If both of them are healthy, they are probably the best 2 tandem running backs.
Oh, easy. I'd say so.
And it reminds me of D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart back in the day.
Better.
But even better because they are versatile more in the passing game just as much as anything. And both of them can. Dude. Both of them can catch out of the backfield. So it's not like one is like a catching back, one's a running back. No. Both of them are pretty much the same. They can both do the same. So it's going to be awesome.
All right, now what are some of the key matchups you're looking forward to in this game, man? Like,
well, the obvious one.
What piques your interest there?
The obvious one is going to be Julio Jones versus Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler is a very physical guy. He gets in the receivers' faces, which this is Julio Jones, who is the biggest, most physical receiver out there. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We saw Green Bay holding him, grabbing him, pass interference, and he still murdered them for over 180 yards. Yeah. So
I think that's a different beast here. This is a different secondary. Yeah. This is not Green Bay's secondary. But at the same time, at the same time,
they've never faced anybody like Julio at all.
Yeah, at the same time for New England, they haven't faced a guy like Julio. I mean, much respect to Antonio Brown, who's arguably one of the best receivers in the league, probably the best. But at the same time, man, I don't know. You can go say the same thing about Julio, and Julio's got like 6 inches on Antonio Brown, and he can get up. Yeah. He's bigger. He's stronger.
He's probably just as fast.
So, who do you think wins that matchup?
Julio.
Right?
No way.
So even if they
double
cover
him, over Julio.
So even if they double cover him like they were doing with Antonio Brown, you still think Julio comes out that matchup pretty good, right?
Yeah, because the thing is with the Atlanta Falcons offense, they actually do this really well. They move him around, they move him in the slot, put him in motion, and he does a lot of crossing routes, which that kind of takes away the double team because he outruns defenders. Period.
Oh yeah, and New England lets do crossing routes also.
Yeah, but we see that all the time.
Like I said, even if they do that with Julio, they double him up and they're kind of like containing him. Yeah, shit. Gabriel's going to be there. I mean, you got Devontae Freeman, you got Coleman, you got Hooper, you got Mohamed Sanu. Those guys are going to make plays. They've been doing it. Yeah. So here's one of the matchups I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Kyle Shanahan and Josh McDaniels. The offensive coordinators for each team. These guys have been absolutely studs.
They're the best offensive coordinators.
They've been studs this year at play calling. I mean, what they've been doing. I mean, if you're not a fan of what they do, even if you're not a fan of the teams, you just don't like the NFL. I mean, these guys are great. Kyle Shanahan's he's gonna get a head coaching job because of it. So I can't wait to see who is coming up with the better packages and who is gonna take more chances. I can't wait to see the plays that these guys draw up and who comes out on top. Between those two, who do you think is going to call a better game, Kyle Shanahan or Josh McDaniels? And that's really splitting hairs because they're fucking great. Me personally, I'm going with Kyle Shanahan. I'm going with Kyle Shanahan, because he's got more to work with, and it's just
it's hard to pick against Julio. It's hard to pick against those kind of weapons, man. And the MVP, Matty Ice, is MVP this year, and it's hard to bet against that kind of offense, man. They have everything. They run the ball, they pass the ball, and they're all the way around. They can score from any point in the field. So now, lately, these recent years in the Super Bowl, defense has been winning. Defense has been winning the Super Bowls, right? And New England comes in here with the number one scoring defense. Their defense is just amazing. They really came along throughout the year, and they've really grown. Same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta's really grown out of the year, especially in the playoffs. They just hit this growth spurt, their defense. They hit another gear.
Now, but Atlanta's coming with the number one offense, the number one scoring offense. So, are we going to see what we've been seeing lately these last few years? Do you think defense is going to trump the offense? Because it has been. Or do you think this year Atlanta's offense is going to trump the defense?
It's tough because I think 4 out of 5 years, I think the defense has won it.
Yeah.
Right?
Dominated.
4 out of the last 5, and they've dominated. It's tough. It really is tough because they always say, the whole saying, right, is defense wins championships. And we've seen defenses shut down one of the best offenses we've ever seen when New England went into it, remember? And the Giants shut them down. We saw the
Seattle Broncos get shut down by the Seahawks.
By Seattle.
They dominated the Broncos.
So we've seen offenses just as good as Atlanta's get shut down.
Yeah, Broncos last year with Cam.
Yeah. But I will say this, and that's actually one of my key matchups too, is Atlanta's offense versus New England's defense, Bill Belichick and them. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be Atlanta's offense. I'm going on the edge. I'm going out of the norm because I just think that when you go into this game, when you look at New England's defense, they just don't have those playmakers. Like Denver last year had Von Miller, right? He took over that game.
They don't have those big playmaker names, but they've been making plays.
They've been making plays, but they're not making those kind of plays like Von Miller plays, right?
All right.
Like, to me, those are the things. And I think Atlanta's offense just has too many weapons, too well-rounded, and they don't just do one thing better than the other. We've seen when the Patriots went in when they had the best offense, they threw the ball a lot, right? Denver's offense that one year, they threw the ball a lot. Atlanta's offense does both. They run and pass. I'm going with Atlanta's offense. I think they're going to pull it out and change the norm.
All right, so
I'm excited.
Talking about all these matchups and everything and who's going to have more success at what, It's pretty safe to say, coming down to our game pick, who will win Super Bowl 51 down in Houston?
I think it's pretty obvious, right?
Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons will be the Super Bowl champs. This is their second appearance, and they're walking out with their first title. They had a great farewell against the Packers in the Georgia Dome. That was their last game there.
Yep.
And they are going to enter their new stadium next year with a Super Bowl trophy. They're going to be champions. You know what? Sorry, New England.
Sorry, Brady, Belichick, you're not going to get that fifth
You guys
ring.
aren't going to win it this year. I'm going with the Falcons. I love this team. They've been so fun to watch. Me and Sean, ourselves, we went all the way to Tampa, Florida to go watch the Bucs and Falcons play, and we were just absolutely amazed by the Falcons and what they're able to do.
Yep.
So that was a huge treat for us that we got to see them live this year. Falcons are a great team, and they're going to pull it out, and they're going to be Super Bowl champions. And now, who do you think is going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl 51? I don't think it's going to be anyone else other than Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan, if you're going to beat the New England Patriots and that number one scoring defense, Matt Ryan's going to have to be on point like he always has been, and it's going to go to Matt Ryan.
I think so too. It's got to be, because obviously I think I don't think Bill Belichick will allow Julio Jones to go off for 180 yards like he did this last week, but I think Julio will get his own. I think Sanu and all these guys will get their own, but at the end of the day, it's going to be 390-something yard passing, 4 touchdown performance by Matty Ice. That's what it's going to take to win.
Do you know what, though?
It will happen.
It's going to be a great Super Bowl.
Because New England, it's going to be probably one of the best.
New England, they're just they're the best franchise in football. You know, and you're talking about the greatest franchises of all time, I'd say New England and San Antonio Spurs. I mean, what they're able to do for as long as they were able to do it, I mean, it's just ridiculous. As much as I hate Brady, hate Belichick, you have to respect them and for what they have accomplished and what they've done. But, no, this is going to go to Atlanta Falcons, and it's going to be great to watch, and it's going to be a great Super Bowl.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Now, other things going on with the Super Bowl, because it's not just about the game, right? There's also other things going on. Lady Gaga is going to be performing at the halftime show. Do you ever care about the halftime show and who's performing? Because I'll tell you this, I don't really care. I don't watch it. But I do appreciate all the memes and jokes that happens after the game or during the game, after the halftime show, because there have been some bombs, at the halftime show. And
there has.
But, Lady Gaga, though, she killed it last year with the singing of the national anthem. I don't really watch that. I don't really watch none of the pregame or, any of that stuff or the halftime show, because you're usually watching with your friends or family or whatever and just talking and shit. And she stopped everybody because I thought she did great performing last year's Super Bowl. And now she's doing the halftime show. Maybe she does a great job. We'll see. I don't know.
I think she'll be fine. Halftime, I'm usually grabbing something to eat at that point. I'm
getting something to eat.
I'm snacking down at that point.
Pizza,
exactly. So,
hot wings.
The only reason I watch the halftime show to see if any other malfunctions happen, and
will we get another wardrobe malfunction down in Houston?
That won't happen. But that would be fucking hilarious if it happened again in Houston.
Yep.
That would be pretty ironic.
Commercials. The commercials are also a big part of the Super Bowl experience.
Oh, man.
Do you look forward to do you like the Super Bowl commercials? And
some can be funny. Usually the ones I like to look for are Budweiser. Obviously, those are always good. And then obviously Doritos.
I was going to say Doritos. Doritos, that's the only time I really think about Doritos is during the Super Bowl.
They're funny.
And then of course, movie trailers. Usually the movie trailers come out, during the Super Bowl. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a surprise or two. Maybe the new Star Wars trailer
or Justice League.
So I like the commercials because they're entertaining, they're funny, and some of them, we just mentioned, movie trailers, big time movie trailers coming out. So that's stuff to look forward to.
Excited.
Now, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great Super Bowl 51. I unfortunately have to work. I will be at work, But it will be slow, and I will still watch the game. Now, me and Sean, we originally planned on going down to Houston because we live here in Texas, and we planned on driving down to Houston and meeting up and tailgating down there. But I couldn't get away from work, so I'll be watching at work, but I will be watching nonetheless. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I got the Falcons. You got the Falcons. And let us know what you guys think. What do you guys think about everything we talked about? Do you guys think it was fair, not fair? You got New England winning.
You have another matchup on a World Cup?
Yeah.
Like, is there matchups?
What matchups are you guys looking forward to? Do you think
Atlanta's wrong? I don't know.
If you don't think Atlanta's going to win, you're nuts. But yeah, let us know if you guys you got Falcons, you got Patriots. Are you guys looking forward to Lady Gaga performing? Don't care. Commercials. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Yep. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, everybody,
yes, sir.
Everybody. So, looking forward to it.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Later.